Good morning, everyone. Hope you are all good in your studies and also health. Today, we discuss about one major topic, that is poverty. What is the meaning of poverty? What are the types of poverty? Causes of the poverty? How to remove the poverty? And what are the programs implemented in our India for eradication of this major problem? We see clearly about poverty topic. Students, poverty has many dimensions. See, here we have some of the indicators to measure poverty. Levels of income, consumption, social indicators are the indicators. And who are the poor? Do not live 2 meals a day and possess few assets only. Reside in that also make of mud and roof made of grass. Usually they have landless. Poor people don't have basic literacy and skills. Ill health and physical weakness they suffered. They suffered with borrow of money at high interest rate. No access to drink water. No access to electricity. These people are known as poor people. Usually they suffered very common with malnutrition. They cooked food with using fuel and firewood and cow dung cake also. They mostly exploited by employees, can't negotiate their legal wages also. Gender inequality, mainly we are observing in this category. Women not getting equal opportunities. Poor people in rural areas and in urban areas. We observe carefully. In rural areas, identify on the basis of their occupation and ownership of assets. In urban areas, legally overflow from rural areas. Okay, students, now we are observe categories of poor people: chronic poor and transient poor. Chronic poor, there are again two kinds. One is always poor, usually poor. For example, casual workers, landless workers, etc. Transient poor. There are again two kinds. One is churning poor, regularly move in and out of poverty. For example, small farmers and seasonal workers. The second type of transient poor is occasionally poor. They are rich most of the time, but may sometimes have a patch of bad luck. Another never poor. Those people who live above poverty line, for example, doctors, lawyers, etc. Okay, children, let's we are observe poverty definition. Poverty is a situation where a person is not able to fulfill his or her basic need of clothing, shelter, and food, as well as necessity of life like sanitation, health, and education. This is known as poverty. There are of two types. One is relative poverty, second, absolute poverty. Poverty of people in comparison to other people and other regions of nations are known as relative poverty people. Okay, absolute poverty. It refers to the total number of people living below the poverty. In our India, usually we are observe absolute poverty. In developed countries, they faced relative poverty. They all always compared to others. Children, usually in our India, those who are living poverty line below them we are saying poor people. Okay, what is this poverty line? How we will measure poverty line below the poverty line? We can see now carefully. Measure of poverty line is of two types. One is minimum calories intake and second is monetary value. Minimum calories intake in rural areas 2400 calories they have to take. In urban areas 2100 calories they have to take per day. If not, they are fell in poverty line. Monetary value. In rural areas, per capita expenditure is 816 per person and in urban areas 1000 rupees per person. This is the measurement of poverty line. Okay students, now we are observe causes of poverty. People having low capital formation and production capacity, lack of infrastructure, economic and social infrastructure, lack of demand, pressure of population. Heavy pressure of population adds to dependency burden. Lack of social welfare programs does not reach to really needy people. Inflation increases in prices, low rate of economic development, low education, social factors like caste system, social exclusion, unequal distribution of wealth. Okay, children. Now, how we will measure to remove poverty? Firstly, accelerating the pace of economic growth, reducing income inequalities by fiscal policy. Fiscal policy made by government to reduce income inequalities and to reduce inflation. Last measure is population control. Students, now we are observe what are the programs made by Indian government to eradicate poverty. Firstly, Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana (PMRY) program launched in 15th August 1993. Main aims of this program is self-employment, and also under this program, education unemployed from low income families in rural and urban areas can get financial assistance in the form of bank loans. Another one is Swarna Jayanti Shastri Rozgar Yojana SJSRY, made for urban self-employment program. SJSRY implemented on December 1997 onwards. It's aimed under self-employment in urban areas, creating employment opportunities. The third program is Swarna Jayanti Gram Swaraj Yojana. Short form is SGSY. Launched on April 1st, 1991, self-employment program. It's aimed at promoting micro enterprises and to being the assisted poor families above the poverty line by organizing them into self-help groups such a 10 to 15 members in a group, and they take the assistance of bank loans, etc. Sampurna Gramin Rozgar Yojana. One more is National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005. Short form NREGA scheme. Launched in February 2006. It is aimed at to provide guarantee wages employment to every households. Under this program, volunteer adults will be provided unskilled manual work for a minimum of 100 days in a year. Remember children, for minimum of 100 days in a year. Those cannot be employed employees under this scheme were given wages for those 100 days. Government also made for this one act also to ensure the employee. Another program is Pradhan Mantri Gramin Yojana (PMGY), introducing in 2000-2001 with the objective of focusing on village level development in 5 critical areas are as follows: health, primary education, drinking water, housing and rural roads, improving quality of life of people in rural areas. Another program, National Social Assistance Program NSAP, launched in 15th August 1995 for social assistance benefits to the poor households by old age, poor women, primary bread earner, and maternary care. The eighth program is focusing in improving food nutrition and status of poor people. It includes three programs. One is PDS, Integrated Child Program, and Midday Meal Program. Children, now you understood very well what is the poverty and how it will be removed. Thank you, children.